Good morning. It's Ernie with the Trader of Futures. How you doing, friends? It is, what is it? Is it October 22nd? Tuesday? Oh, October 23rd. Holy crap. Man, as you get older, days go by faster and faster. Months, seasons, they seem to pass. I think this is one of the reasons I'd like to be down south so I can get rid of the seasons. The seasons are too much of a marker for me. I'd rather not really know where the hell I am. The other thing I noticed is that the ground is getting lower and lower. That's a joke. So, is this market crashing? Is it? Are we just pulling back? Is this the big one? Are banks finding their demise? That's what I heard. I saw this. I saw this article on Zero Hedge that global banks look like they're crashing just like 1987. Chances are most of the people that are writing for Zero Hedge weren't even around in 1987. The other thing that that I had predicted that has come true, the other thing. Let me just point out one thing that I've wanted to get into and started to get into are cannabis stocks. All right, so we got cannabis. And I said that after Canada's regulation, their deregulation or the legalization of recreational marijuana that was to come October 17th, that we would rise into that event and then fall off sharply. Yep, that's what I said. And let's see. Let's go back to that. Let's go to that prediction. I just need to set up a chart here. There we go. Share screen. So what I'm going to show you now is the MJ ETF. That's the Alternative Harvest ETF that contains the 30 largest stocks, primarily Canada-based stocks that are focused on marijuana. All right. And I said, yeah, we would rise right into the 17th. Let's see, what date is that right there? Oh, that's the 16th. Oh, and what happened after that? Oh, look at that. It dropped. So now what do we do? Now what do we do? So let's see, that reached a peak of about $44. We're now down to $31. That's a healthy drop. A drop of $13. I'm going to say that that's close to about a 27% drop. Let me see what we have here. 31 divided by 44. Looks like it's about it's a 29% drop, off by a couple of percentage points. All right. So that's almost a 30% drop in the marijuana ETFs, the MJs, the Mary Jane. That's what marijuana means in Spanish. So a 30% drop in just a few days. Will it drop further? I believe it will. I believe it will drop much further. And then we can start looking for some value in the marijuana stocks. They're unbelievably overvalued. A lot of the hype that was out there. So we need that to pull back strongly. We need, hopefully, this November in the election, we're going to have at least 4 more states in the United States that are going to pile on and in one way or another, either decriminalize or legalize marijuana for medical or recreational use. So that'll bring our total up to about 36 states. And what I'm really hoping for is that sometime in 2019, we'll get above 40 states that are in some way or another decriminalizing marijuana, or at least legalizing it for medicinal use. And if we can add a few more states for the recreational use as well, that'll be great. It seems that the federal government is starting to loosen up their stance, where the DEA has actually rescinded the notion, at least from a level 1 perspective, that marijuana does not have any kind of medicinal purpose. And now they've taken that away. They've acknowledged that it does. I'm not sure why it's still on a level 1 schedule. It doesn't make any sense. I know that Donald Trump, during his campaign, said that one of his campaign promises was to try to see through it, that medical marijuana from a federal point of view would be allowed for at least for medicinal purposes. And that would really open up everything in terms of research. And it would also open up the gates for a lot of other states that are kind of on the fence. And I think that you would quickly see close to 50 states with some kind of decriminalization, or on a, from a recreational point of view. I mean, obviously now medical would be allowed across all states. All right, so what's happening with the market? Let's see, I need to go there. Let's look for the ES. ES is the E-mini futures for the S&P. I'm just bringing it up here in TradingView. Let's do a screenshot. What a drop. Look at this. Bam, bam. Little dead cat bounce, then come back down. So total, we're down. How much are we down? We were at, this is hard to read. Let's go to a full feature chart. And let's look at a daily. And it looks like the high was at 29.47, and we're currently at 27.08. Oh, that's not bad. We're only a little over 8% down. I mean, a real correction is about 10%. Is this the limit? That's a hard one to tell. I mean, we have, from a volume profile point of view, we're right at the high value node over the past several months. So this looks like an area where we can probably settle in and develop a base and then move up from here. If you go back here and you look at this cluster here, it looks like that might be the high value node, but surprisingly, it's not. Most of the volume, let's get rid of these lines here. Remove all drawing tools. There we go. The volume profile is really hard to see here. All right, that one's nice and bright. How about this one? There we go. There, that brings it all into view a little bit better. Oh, I'm not even showing it. All right, so here's the E-mini S&P, the E-mini futures contract. And here's our volume profile. We can see we're right on the high value node. Right on it. We're on it. Actually, we're bumping up against this low volume well right there. That's kind of significant. Let's take a look at that. That's right there at about 26.98. We hit that this morning. Found strong support there, and looks like we might move up into this area again. So I suspect that, I suppose it's possible we'll come down to this level here. Let's see, we'll put another one there, one there, one there. This one here is at 26.80. Also looks like strong support. And we'll do one more, and we'll say that I guess there's a possibility that we move down here to 26.39. 26.39. 26.39 divided by 29.46. Is only a 10.4% drop. Is that where we're going to? I don't know. I think that right now this is where most of the market is finding value, strong value in this area. This area from 27.35 maybe down to 2,700. So it is definitely possible that we move down there. I think the major thing that we're contending with right now is this kind of coming to grips with the fact that the Fed is headstrong on continuing their assault on interest rates. Their assault. I say that only because they make it appear, or we all have some kind of veiled confidence that the Fed is actually doing some good by stemming off inflation and stemming off this overheated market. Why is an overheated market a bad thing? Never understood that. It's bad, very, very bad that we're doing good. Man, let it go to the moon, then see what happens. Well, they say that the higher you go, the harder you fall. I don't know. I think that one of the things that this market has going for it is that it is rising even in the face of rising interest rates. Now, and we don't really have any significant quantitative easing. That's not saying that we don't. I'm just saying no significant quantitative easing, not like we had in the Obama era. In the Obama era, interest rates were essentially zero with quantitative easing. And the market was sluggish, and it moved. The market itself, the stock market, moved up, but the economy was sluggish. There was no good news. There was no growth in GDP. And so that has been a stark contrast between now and then, that we are growing, we are expanding, the GDP is expanding in the face of rising interest rates. So, fundamental difference. Now, of course, lately I've heard that Obama now is taking credit for this rise, when just a few months, a couple of years ago, he was saying that none of these jobs in this economy wasn't going to get any better. What a snake. He is a snake in the grass. Unbelievable. All right, let's go to the comments. Big Z, hi sir, what happened yesterday? You never came online, but you said it was gonna, you was gonna come online. Is everything okay? Everything is fine. I have other businesses that I have to attend to, and every once in a while, something might happen that just requires all my attention, and this was one of those cases. Started reading Tony Robbins' Money Master. Next book is The Intelligent Investor. I'm not sure that Tony Robbins is, although he's made a lot of money, but I'm not sure he is the end-all be-all when it comes to understanding markets. But, you know, I would say that the best books to read to get a philosophical bent on markets and the way markets actually work are by Nassim Taleb and his trilogy, or I should say his quadrangle. And that is The Black Swan, Anti-Fragile, Fooled by Randomness, and Skin in the Game. Those 4 books are, without a doubt, the quintessential books for any trader to read. Then I would also read Jack D. Schwager's books, Market Wizards. There are a series of interviews of the most experienced traders in the world. Tony Robbins, not so much. But look, any book is good. You read it, you get some good insight. If you pick something, I'm sure there is some great stuff that you can pick up from him. DIY guy, Ernie, is a coincidence stock market crashes happen in October? Actually, October is the time when you want to start buying. So that, I think, it goes without saying. So now we've pulled back in October. Now we start buying. So they say go away in May and come back in October. Is it a coincidence? No, it is a statistical anomaly and a fact that October is the time when markets start rising. So what I'm doing is I am starting to dig in and then add to positions long the market. Play TVIX. Yeah, TVIX is a play on the VIX, by the way. For those, I mean, let's see. We'll look at TVIX. A leveraged 2x, two times VIX short-term ETN, exchange traded. All right. I mean, you could play TVIX. You could play the VIX, VXX, UVXY, I think is another good one. Let's see, UVXY. Which is what they call the ultra short. Now, any of those. TVIX, let's see. How about XIV? I think that's what it was. No. What is the reverse short of the VIX? Is it VXI? No. XVI? I don't know. I forgot what it is. VXI? No. What is the ETN that is the short version of the VIX? That is the question. You're early. Husband is still out. What the fuck? Andrew, decriminalization marijuana for what reason? Have you not seen the documentary Reefer Madness? That was not a I know that is just tongue in cheek, but to call that a documentary is kind of weird. It was made in what, 1933 or 36? DJ T's campaign promises also include DJT Donald J. Trump, great affordable health care for everyone and infrastructure spending. Yeah, and that's what they're doing. So far, healthcare has stabilized. We no longer have the individual mandate. All right, so if you don't want to buy healthcare insurance, you don't have to. Are we in a bear market now? No, we're not. We haven't even hit what most people would consider a correction yet. The market is finding a bottom lower than I thought. Good thing I waited. I've moved to January calls now. I'm not sure why it's moved lower than you thought. Barely 8% is really not that low. Barely 8%. The economy is still strong. Even McDonald's reported strong earnings. This is very strange. Why? I don't understand why it's strange. So a pullback or a correction is not an indicator that of a weakened economy. As a matter of fact, that is something that you usually see, is that you see this divergence between the market. See, what happens is the stock market is moving along with the economy. Sometimes it gets ahead of it and predicts something bigger, and it has to kind of correct and then do this. That doesn't mean the economy gets any weaker. Just they're not totally hand in hand. The market itself is kind of a predictor ahead of it. Protestant guilt just can't party too hard. Okay. Do you think China is selling their equities just to get back at Trump before the midterms? China is not doing anything unless they feel like it is going to benefit themselves. GameCuber, the Black Swan, Skin in the Game, Market Wizards, I'll look up the rest. You forgot Anti-Fragile and Fooled by Randomness. Ernie, XIV got wiped out in December. Oh, really? I did not know that. That's why I couldn't find it. I thought it was XIV. I'm surprised that they didn't like double down on it or rebalance it. In February, actually. Alex says in February, so I had no problem. Bear market clear as day. The economy is so weak, you are delusional? Really? The economy is weak. You must be listening to Peter Schiff, who thinks the economy is always weak. There is not a single economic report that has been out in the past year that indicates anything but a super strong, perhaps one of the strongest economies ever in U.S. history. So saying the economy is weak and that I'm delusional? Holy crap. I'm going to start buying some of my favorite stock today. Do you think it is a good idea? Well, I am not one here to talk about any particular stock to buy, except for Netflix. Might be a little late, though. I am a buyer of Netflix if it gets down below 317.57. $317.57. Buyer of Netflix down below 317.57. Got wiped out rebalancing the day in February when the VIX had one of its largest one-day moves after hours. Bitcoin, do it. There's nothing to say in Bitcoin. Bitcoin is perhaps one of the most boring markets out there. There is nothing to say about Bitcoin. Absolutely nothing. Other than, it's pretty much the same. So Bitcoin is currently at about 6,400 or so. as I said, this is my prediction. This is my forecast for Bitcoin, that we're going to have one more pump. I don't think that it'll get much above 6,600, depending on what exchange that you're talking about. I'm currently looking at Coinbase. So I don't think it's going to get much above 6,600, that one more pump, and then the big drop. Take it to the bank. Joe B. Peter Schiff thinks the market is held up by the Fed buying stocks, and the market could fall whenever it wants. The market could fall whenever it wants the market to fall. Also, gold and silver manipulations. Well, of course, there's always gold and silver manipulation. Gold is up big today. And Peter Schiff is rife in all of these conspiracy theories around the Fed. I don't particularly, I have the same kind of disdain for the Fed that he does, but probably for similar, but not quite the same reasons. I just don't believe that we need the Fed at all. I'd rather go, I'd like to get rid of our whole fiat-based system, our debt-based system. It doesn't make any sense. Go to a non-debt-based system. Go to greenbacks. Any good recommendations on pot stocks? No. So as I said, my tact at this, I said that things would pull back, and I expect them to pull back more. They're down 30% right now. They're still grossly overvalued. I would look at some of the majors, like Tilray and others. Let's see if we can bring up my Earns ETF, Earns portfolio on pot stocks. All right, let's zoom in on this. Do it by market cap. So Tilray, I like Tilray. Everything's down. Look at this. Bam, bam, bam. Everything down today. Boom, ba-dum, ba-dum. Everything's in the red. That's okay. We're going to wait. Canopy is another big one. Canopy is a good stock. Also, Aurora. Those are the three big ones. Tilray, Canopy, Aurora. All getting down to levels that are now starting to make a little bit more sense. But if you go to the financials, I mean, it is just an abysmal story. Operating income or loss, net income. I mean, look at this. This is just pitiful. Net income right now, though, for Aurora seems to be up this year. Maybe Aurora. Look at this price, $8.69. Perhaps a leap in Aurora. All right, back to the comments. Any good recommend? Oh, let's see. Sorry, please disregard my previous chat message. Toucan Sam, if any. Oh, that's all right. I disregarded it anyways. I didn't disregard your disregard, though. All right, back to reality. We are back. All right. So what do we have? What do we have for today? Where do we go from here? There's no rule that says that a correction has to be 10%. It could be anything from 5 to 15 to 20%. So there's nothing saying that this is the bottom. I suspect that there is some trepidation prior to the election. A lot of people are maybe hedging their bets that if the Democrats take control of Congress and possibly the Senate, that would be horrible for the stock market. Then I would be shorting big time. Our market and our country will go into a tailspin with everything that they're planning to do. Open borders, raise taxes, reinstitute the individual mandate, put back all the regulation, basically undo everything that Trump has done in order to stimulate the economy up to now. Well, thank you, Stephen, for your kudos. Appreciate that. Is it better to stay calm in this market? I think it's better to stay calm in every market. I mean, there's nothing really to get excited about here. You know, I'm in a position here that I wrote down because I had no idea where we would stop. But I'm going to add to it. And I'm going to put on some longer term positions, and I expect to profit handsomely by the end of the year. Why has the EU opened borders? You didn't want an A in borders, by the way. Yeah, hold your dry powder until November elections. I say the same. Deep depression by 2020? Why? That doesn't make any sense. But why has the EU opened their borders? Because they're globalists. They are looking for the destruction of society so that they can take over. I mean, there is no other way around that. That is why the EU has opened their borders, and they love all this turmoil that they're causing because it'll send the EU into despair, and they can institute more draconian controls over the governments, institute their socialistic beliefs. Toucan Sam says, looks like the Republicans will keep the Senate, but the Democrats may win the House. It's possible that they don't win the House. If we retain the House, I say it like I'm part of that. It's more I'm against the Dems as opposed to for the Republicans. If the Republicans maintain the House too by at least a few votes or a few seats, that'll be huge. And I think the Democrats are really shooting themselves in the foot with everything that they're doing these days, like, for instance, this migrant caravan. Don't for a minute think that this is not entirely manufactured by the Dems and their operatives and their financiers like Soros. I mean, who do you think is, to move a caravan like that and to walk through that heat for weeks and weeks and weeks, they need to be replenished with water, food, supplies. Who do you think is actually financing? You think that they just put everything on their backpack and then they take a trip from Guatemala up to the United States border? No. And how is it that this caravan continues to grow after it's already passed the border? That doesn't make any sense either. Are you still bullish on Hashgraph? Did you buy any shares? No, I have not. But they are one of the few crypto concerns out there that I like. Is or will be available soon to buy on exchanges? That's a good question. I heard that by November, the answer to that question would be yes. Have you ever tried marijuana butter? Well, I've made marijuana butter, I don't know, dozens and dozens of times. So yeah, I guess I have tried it. Marijuana, now first of all, if you don't know how to make marijuana butter, if you're making it with marijuana, then you don't know what you're doing. If it tastes rancid, like most people's marijuana butter, they don't know what they're doing. The best way to make it is to distill the oil as far as you can. It'd be better to use distillates. And although I don't have the equipment to create a pure distillate, I can distill it enough and get rid of the taste enough so that you cannot really taste the active ingredients. And by the way, the reason why you use butter is because those active ingredients are fat soluble. I support the Democrats and Bitcoin communism. All right. Luigi. The EU will probably the EU will probably over for the next financial crisis. All right. George Soros, I'm not sure I understand that, but the EU will probably over for the next financial crisis. Maybe if I switch some of those words around, I'll start making sense of that. Open borders are part of the 4 principles of free trade, free movement of labor, free markets, and free movement of capital. No, they're not. That is one of the most ridiculous. You need closed borders in order to have a country so that you can then establish trade between two. If there are no borders, there is no free trade. Joe B. Ernie, the IMF. Does the IMF run the world banking system? Well, they are by definition, I guess, the World Bank, right? The International Monetary Fund. This is where all the World Bank pundits are hanging out. So I guess yes. I was senior developer for Weiss Research. That they make a living researching in the stock market. Based on their forecast, I have good reason to believe that the stock market is in for a big crash on 2020. Yeah, big friggin' deal. There are so many people out there making predictions. I don't care how much research that they're doing, and most of them are always wrong. And this time, there will be no QE, no bailouts, and it will take all the central banks down with it. Okay, that sounds like doom and gloom. And I continue to maintain my stance, particularly if the Senate and the House maintain their Republican majority, that we are in the midst of the biggest bull run in human history. Biggest bull run in human history. The biggest bull run in human history. And I base that on the ratio between stocks and bonds. We are now breaking out of that ratio. And every time we break out after a significant consolidation, we move up significantly. But if they open the borders, doesn't that mean it harder to control? Of course it does. And it means that you cannot secure your own country. They're not, in Europe, that's what they want, so that they can institute martial law and other controls. That is exactly what they want. They want people in turmoil. You believe Bitcoin is going to zero? No, I never said that. Peter Schiff forecast. You believe Hashgraph is one of the few crypto technologies that can prosper, Mike Maloney forecast. But you don't consider either of their premises on the tanking economy. Just curious. So both of your premises are incorrect. Just because they have a particular view that I might agree with, at least partially, does not mean that I buy into their total view. So your logic does not follow at all. The EU is falling apart in the next financial crisis. Yes, they are. Nationalism is the last refuge of the sounderl. Why does everybody type in like this cryptic language? You know, before you actually hit return, type it. Because, you know, I'm trying to read every message, so don't think that you have to get it out there real quick. You know, when we start getting hundreds and hundreds of people in here and the messages are going by fast, I'll get somebody to help me read the messages and then, you know, filter them out. But for now, just take your time, type what you mean and mean what you say. Are you watching China and Russia? We are in the midst of World War III. Man, Crypto Knight, you are going way, way off the deep end. I applaud your optimism. I wish I felt the same. Well, you can. Just look at the facts. just look at the facts. That's all you got to do. You know, if the market truly, here's the thing. The rest of the world is buying into the globalism. We are resisting. The rest of the world is falling. We are rising. At some point, the rest of the world is going to there's going to be a divergence between our rising and their falling. And that's going to create a significant advantage for the United States to exert control over the rest of the world. And then they will see the light, and then they will follow with us. And then after that happens, the whole shebang will go up with us leading. Ernie, do you think we will reach the all-time highs again in the stock market after this correction? Well, that is kind of the definition of a correction after the correction finishes, that you will, again, see all-time highs. You'll blast by the previous all-time high and set new all-time highs. So where are we today right now? Dow is down really big. But where are we now? We are coming back. Yeah, really having a lot of investors are really, you know, having a hard time digesting these interest rates. That's really what it comes down to. Ernie, do you think we'll reach? Okay, I read that. When will money flow again to countries like Turkey? When they get away from their evil ways, quite frankly. I think Turkey is headed for, at least the government is headed for a disaster. They are oppressing their people, and sooner or later that's going to be their downfall. Dodgers versus Red Sox, game 1 tonight. Dodgers will win? No. Doubt that very much. Doubt it. Are they playing at the Fenway? I think they are. And you think the Dodgers will win? There's just no friggin' way. Red Sox in 5. That's my prediction. Red Sox in 5. Yeah, this, okay, so again, as I said, Netflix, target of 333. if it gets down below 317, 317.50 or so, that's where I'm a buyer. Now it already got down below there, just near the market open. So now this is a call from our AI, by the way. The embodiment has made this call this morning, and so I'll put that up there. It's this top middle, Netflix. Now it has an IV and a implied volatility ranking of 64%. That's very, very high. So I would say a credit spread is the way to go here. Yep, a credit spread. That could work in your favor. Yep, this VIX call didn't work out so well. We were in the money for a while. We had shorted the VIX right here. But I took a very small position with a put, all right? So ready to add some more puts to this. The USA was always a globalist in nature. It is a nation of immigrants. No, my God, where are you getting this? From every corner of the world, if that's not globalist, what is? No, that's not the definition of globalist at all. We bring immigrants here to assimilate into our culture, period, and then we go our own way. That's what it is about. Obviously not from the United States. Donald Trump is all about his fragile ego only causing harm to average Joe. That's not true at all. Virtually every average Joe in the United States is benefiting under Donald Trump. Ernie, where do you get your news? I get my news from observation. I don't watch any particular news. They're all liars. All of them, even both conservative and liberal. They're all liars. The only good news is what you ascertain from yourself. You look at all the events around the world, you look at the economies, you make your own judgments. Take it all in. What's with all these communist commenters here? If you support Bitcoin and communism at the same time, it only proves how confused you are. Referring to earlier comments, yeah. Joe B, I feel someone should graph the Dow from 10K to 26K and have a line for a national debt, then try to decipher if the Dow rise is real or just inflation. I feel the latter will be the case. Well, Joe, why don't you do that? And then maybe you can be a guest on my show and we'll talk about that. I'd really like to do that and get your opinion on that. So, in other words, is the expansion in our economy, is the expansion in the market keeping up with our national debt? I mean, what is the correlation? And my understanding, though, is that debt as a percent of GDP has kept relatively stable. It may have risen a bit, but it is still. Let me just look that up, just so that I'm not, saying things that aren't true. The debt to GDP ratio. Where can we find that? Where are the current numbers? Okay. I think this is a good illustration of exactly what I just said. Hold on. So this is the United States gross federal debt to our gross domestic product, the GDP. And so you can see right down here, here's the chart. Let's make that a little bit bigger. Hold on a second. Yes, sir. No, I didn't. Okay. Well, I told everybody about Netflix. I said that we're a buyer below 317.50 something. If we get down, close to that, maybe they can get another shot at it. The market is a little weird today. You wouldn't touch it now that the all right. So because it's already been halfway to the target, and if it pulls back, it's probably not a rebuy. I know you have no idea, but that's just your feeling. I see. So if you missed the entry, then I'm repeating everything you say because I'm broadcasting live right now. Yeah. So if you miss the entry and then it comes back for another, where we had called the entry, you're probably not interested in that, especially since that it went almost halfway to the target. Yeah. Yeah. More interested in the new trades that are coming. I got it. One thing that we should probably do. I know that all the targets are based on a statistical probability. Perhaps we should put in kind of a layered statistical probability up to that point and above. So if you were to yeah, I know. Maybe if I drew like a bell curve on its side there and say, hey, this is the mean where we're targeting. But okay. All right, I will. $7 left on the table because he's an idiot. All right. Okay. Thank you. Bye. All right. There you go. All right. Back to debt to GDP. As I said, it's been relatively stable for these past couple of years, which it has. So I don't see any, All right, Toucan. What are your views on immigration? I am all for legal immigration for people that we want to come into this country that are going to be a net benefit, that have skills to offer, that have a good reason to come here, that we want, right? And I'm sure that we could come up with some number that that we can assimilate, based on that criteria. But am I for just, let anybody come in? No, no friggin' way. As far as people that are applying for asylum, yeah, they can apply at any of the consulates around the world, and then we can review their application and then decide whether or not to bring them in. If they just show up at the border, so I'm sorry. But right now, we have a really poor policy, and that is that we can only hold them for so many days, particularly if they have children. That's why a lot of them are bringing up children that don't even belong to them, because they know that it'll be sort of a catch and release type of deal. But the Trump administration is trying to block that loophole. Now, all of this stuff, all of that weakness that had been part and parcel from past administrations is being communicated to these people and then sold to them as if giving them hope that they can come up here and just blast through the border and nothing will happen to them and jobs will be available. And it's just not the case. That does not mean I'm against immigration at all. Those are my views on immigration, legal immigration, period. Period. I mean, my grandparents were immigrants, so what do I have to say about this? Wouldn't be here if they didn't immigrate. But they were productive people, and this country benefited by having them. Dex for sure says, yeah, very true. All the news have their own agenda and have no interest in reporting fundamental truth. No, they have an obligation to their shareholders to get people to watch their show. Joe B, I am looking at the same thing. That's good. CIA is contacting him. This phone call is manufactured. Webcam suddenly hidden. Fake, huh? I don't know what the hell that means. Ramon Lopez says, Red Sox on the way, baby! Yes. And Crypto Knight, when U.S. baby boomer retire, the U.S. will need immigrants to maintain the tax floor. One reason other countries, aka Germany, man, you are so misinformed. It's unbelievable. I mean, oh my, yes, baby boomers are diminishing when they retire, and but that doesn't mean that we need immigrants to replace that. That is just an absurd notion. Thoughts on the Drudge Report? I think the Drudge Report is great. I love. I mean, all they really are is an aggregator of other news, but one of the best aggregators. Hey, Hayseed, Ernie. Everybody knows everything. You get angry. Yeah, Kryptonite, and much good it has done for Germany. Not. Yeah, Kryptonite, I don't know where you're getting your information or where you've derived your lack of sensibility. It's really, really distressing. But anyways, as I said, getting back to debt to GDP, it looks like we're fairly stable. Now, you can see during the Obama years, it was on a steady rise, massive rise, massive, unbelievable. But now we're leveling off, and hopefully we won't go much beyond this. Maybe go lower. That would be the ideal. Ernie, why do you go from saying Bitcoin is here to stay to it's a scam? I've never said that. I've never made that, that leap. I've never said if I'm here to stay. I've always said it's a scam. Always. All right, but that doesn't mean that it's simultaneously both can't be true, that it's here to stay. It is a Ponzi scam. It is a greater fool scam. It is being manipulated by whales to try to enrich and embolden themselves. It will never, at least in its current form, and that's a big distinction, it will never in its current form achieve its original vision. Crypto Knight. Oh, no, 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 no. I don't agree. I'm just stating that countries allow immigration for different reasons. I'm not pro-immigration. Why are you not pro-immigration? I'm pro-immigration. I'm just pro-legal immigration. You know, I mean, other countries aren't allowing immigrants because they love immigrants. They're doing it for disruption purposes. Andrew Watt, how many people do you think know that the third year of the new presidency is usually extremely bullish for the markets? I think it's 18 out of 18 times. Correct me please. I don't have the stats in front of me, but I think you're right. Hayseed says Ray Dalio was right in '82, but being wrong till now was a good trade. Now he's wrong going forward. I'm not sure exactly what we're referring to here. Adoption needs a good correction in stocks. Okay. As dirt, Donald Trump wants to put more money on nukes. Yeah, benefits the average Joe. So, man, where do you come up with this shit? Hayseed says, correction. I'm on beer number 6. It's only noontime. Display Z, I call it centralized immigration. Dexter Shore, aren't you the same guy who was for communism and Bitcoin? He's talking about as dirt. Andrew Watt, why can't people see this as a buying opportunity if those stats are true? Well, those are the stats. They're true. The market is down. True. Down almost 8%. Nice little correction. Could it go down to 10%? Sure. Could it go down to 15%? Sure. I think that's less likely. I think right now we're at what I would consider the healthy place to have a correction. And from here, we should probably move up. All right, let's go back to the face. Back to the face. All right, so there was only one futures and Forex call last night, and there was one equity call this morning. And we got it out there kind of late. We're working on that. We're going to try to get it out there a little soon. The way the system works is that we need to see the open of the current day before we actually produce a signal for that session and into the next 4 days. And with equities, that means that we have to do these scans very quickly after 9:30, then try to get them out. And by the time we got them out, the move had already happened. And so that's why my partner said that he's a dummy and left $7 on the table. Ernie, you're a micro trader and see the big picture. Where do we go? Where is the city on the hill? Micro trader. That's not true. Do you mean that I'm a near-term trader? That's not true either. I have a system that is kind of a swing trader, and it's based on artificial intelligence of being able to be predictive in the very near term based on patterns. But I am more of a position trader, longer term trader. And so that's what I'm looking. I'm looking at this pullback as a good opportunity to go long. Decentralization is a form of communism, like it or not. Decentralization is a form of communism. That's weird. So first of all, I think what a lot of people are confusing is that they think Bitcoin is a purely decentralized cryptocurrency. And while I would say that the nodes and the wallets are decentralized, that is true. The governance, which is primarily made up of the developers and the whales and the miners and the exchanges, is extremely concentrated and centralized. And so there is this dichotomy that people aren't measuring. And so I think that Bitcoin suffers from this dichotomy. But to say that communism is decentralized, that is fucking nuts. Ramon Lopez, we have to be more selective with new immigrants. True. U.S. has allowed 10 million in the last 10 years, and those are only the legal ones. Yeah, there's something like, I don't know, 20 million illegals. Now, I don't have any problem with people coming into work and then going back, you know? Migrant workers, that's fine. In, out, in, out. We need to stop illegal immigration, especially in California. It's not fair to anyone. Andrew, you still playing pool? Yes, I play every week. I'm going to play tonight in a 9-ball tournament, the weekly 9-ball tournament. I haven't been doing so well because I'm not able to play consistently. Someday soon, when the daughter leaves and the grow tents go, I'm going to put a table back here. I had a table for many years here, but I'll put a table back so I can start practicing. Asdra, Dex for sure. Dex for sure. No, it's not in paper. Power to the people. What the fuck? I don't know. Hayseed, where is the future, man? Is that like a pun? No, it's a scam. Communism is power to the government, not for the people. That's exactly right. They want you to make it appear as if everything is for the people, but it is a demoralizing, dehumanizing system. Yeah, I agree with that, Kryptonite, that with so many countries in turmoil in Europe, more refugees will probably change Germany's mind soon. They've already changed their mind. And countries like Switzerland, for instance, are, where some people are saying that they were, they're immigration friendly. No, if you go look at them, they are now severely limiting because they've seen what damage it's done to their culture. There's no doubt in my mind that Angela Merkel was looking to broaden the tax base in Germany. No, I think it's not broaden the tax base. I think it comes down to more developing voters for herself. I think that's what it is. Communists need poor conditions to get into power. It's the exact reason why USSR did not allow Marshall aid for Eastern Europe countries. Well, they want complete control over people, that's for sure. Okay, Seed, nice comment. Sash, you kind of missed one comment, eh? I don't know what you're talking about. Probably saying I missed your comment. I don't know where it was. I don't know. I skip over some of the comments. I'm sorry. I am not obligated to read every single friggin' comment. Sorry, just not. Many countries are now adopting a populist, non-immigrant stance due to the refugee crisis. Yeah, I mean, like, duh. People are bridled early. Maybe Ernie too. Bridled. No bridle here. Ernie, somebody beat you early? No, I was never beaten, ever. I was threatened to be beaten, but never beaten. No, my dad never laid a hand on me. And I never laid a hand on my kids. And they turned out great. Because we used personal responsibility and consequences to their actions. Ranger Rock, read this, bro. The Inner Game of Golf by W. Timothy Galloway. I am my local billiards champ. I love it, just like you love 9-ball. I play all codes all the time, like all the time. I'm not sure what all codes are. Your local billiard champ. Are you talking about 3-cushion? Or are you talking about some other form of pocket billiards? I am a A-level 9-ball player. Well, right now I'm more like a B because I've been playing so poorly and I haven't really been practicing. But when I am really in stroke, I am a strong A to A plus. Andrew, what talks about self 1 and self 2? I've adopted it into trading. Have no idea what that means. Hayseed, you're drunk. Yes, I see the drunkenness and the stumbling in your text. Not carom billiards. Well, what kind of? Don't say not what. Oh, snooker billiards. Not into snooker. It's an interesting game, but not into it. Why does U.S. care about themselves rather than help and strengthen the developing countries so we wouldn't have the refugee crisis? You got to be shitting me. Really, that is one of the most ignorant comments of the day. The U.S. has been the number one sugar daddy of most of these developing countries. They've been taking advantage of them forever. But now we're into, look, you help yourselves, then maybe we'll help you, because then that will help us. Some European countries like Spain give too many benefits to immigrants, 400 euros per family member, while the government denies benefits to their born nationals. It was just there. I was just there, and it's full of Muslims. I'm not sure what the correlation is there, but I think that Spain is probably following in the same footsteps as a lot of European countries, all these globalists that really are not, they are not sympathetic to the refugees. They, at all. They simply want to disrupt and control. True Ghost Reaper says economic migrants is what they are. No, they're disruptors. In my view, they are all disruptors. They are there for one reason, and that is to cause problems. That's it. All right, market's moving up now. I'll tell you, the mid caps have been extremely weak compared to the big caps, for whatever that means. So that has been really the case over the past, oh, how long? Since early summer. But now I think that we're in for a turnaround. And what am I talking about? Let me show you in a second here. Yeah, I understand, Ramon. It may be a fact, you know, that most of these immigrants are probably Muslims. And one of the problems with these Muslim refugees is that their culture is typically incompatible with the cultures that they're trying to go to. And then they're unwilling to assimilate. They want to then usurp the culture that they're going to, and then inject their own, which I think is wrong. What do you think Trump should do when they get to our border? deny them. Simple as that. Just deny them. They can go and do to a consulate and file for refugee, or I'm sorry. Let's see. Yeah, the leftists want to create more government welfare dependent voters who'd vote for the leftists. Of course. Yep. All right, so I was going to get to mid caps versus big caps. And so what I've done here at the bottom, this chart right here, this is a weekly view of the ratio or the arbitrage between the S&P mid caps, the S&P 400 mid caps, and the S&P 500. So basically, we take the S&P 400 futures contract minus the S&P 500 futures contract, and you see the difference. This is weekly. You can see it peaked out here in June, mid-June, and then since then it's been downhill. But we were at a bottom here last year in August, and we're right about at that point now. Actually, we went a little bit below it today. And so I'm thinking that this is probably the low. Let's see if we go back. If we go way back, when was this here? All right, so this was the election here, from here. And we were pretty steady. Incredible growth, and then more growth in the big caps. Now a big pullback of the mid caps. So I think that here is really a great place to start investing in the mid caps, particularly relative to the big caps. So in other words, go long the S&P 400 and short the S&P 500. That's what that looks like to me. Oh, I wasn't even showing that. I can't believe it. Why wasn't I showing that? I had to do this all over. All right. So I'm going to take this chart here. I'm going to make it really big. And I'll say it again. This line here, that's the difference between the S&P 400 mid caps and the S&P 500 large caps. All right. And so we can see that here is the election in 2016. And mid caps as a relative to large caps rose dramatically. And that's when the market started to really move up. And then we've had a tug of war back and forth, pretty steady for the first year and a half. And now in this latter year, we peaked out in June, and now the small caps are underperforming relative to the large caps. Now, it looks like this point where it's come down to, there is significant support here. We have support here, and we have here as well. So my thinking is that long the mid caps and short the big caps should be, that ratio should be good, and we should start moving up again. That is my thinking. So hopefully that makes sense to people. I think that is a good trade. That's a good long-term trade. Now, all of a sudden, we just jumped up to 406 viewers. I don't know if anybody noticed that. But anyways, that analysis of mid-cap to long cap, I think there's your long-term view. So Toucan wants to know, why am I bullish on Netflix? I'm not bullish. I'm saying that the embodiment, the system, the artificial intelligence system that we are offering as a service. By the way, I'll make this announcement again, that for the next 3 weeks, I'm going to be putting out stock calls that are generated by our artificial neural net that we call the embodiment. And this morning, it put out a call for Netflix. That call was to buy anything below $317.50. And it got below there. Unfortunately, we didn't get the call out until after that happened. So we're going to attempt to get those calls out a little bit earlier, and then publish them to everybody. And so that's why I was long on Netflix, and that's why my partner called up and was calling up basically to apologize that he got that call out so late. Now, normally in the service, we would get that call out toot sweet right after the. Unfortunately, with the stock calls, unlike the futures and the forex, which we can usually do the night before, because that's when the session starts. We can get that out earlier, and people can have plenty of time to get into the call. But for this one, we got it a little late. We need to automate some of the generation of these calls from the embodiment. And we have that automation all done in the futures call, but not in the equities. Equities are pretty new. If you want to join the embodiment, if the AI setups, they're really fantastic. We have a proven almost 85% win rate with a fantastic return on capital. Return on capital generally is in terms of the amount of capital that you need, or buying power you need, in order to put that trade on. Our return on capital is averaging, I would say 75 to 100% return on capital. And that is absolutely remarkable with that kind of win rate. And it's $99 a month. You get free training. There will be a free training class coming up this Saturday. You can, you subscribe for $99. You can buy a whole year if you want. You can buy a quarter at a time using cryptocurrency, which I will promptly convert into fiat. So now I see it says 342 viewers. I'm really confused about that. Hi, did you notice how I helped your stream to bring in the TOP categories? If you're ready for continuous cooperation, then you are ready to discuss in Telegram's top huddle. I don't understand that. TrueGrit, how can he stop them? U.S. cares about power and control and always wants to be a leader and set to example to the world global economy, but eventually everyone will go against them or just start being more competitive. So I'm not sure, this person up here, is this the person that's responsible for bringing in this traffic? I don't know. It looks like a Russian. Hi, did you notice how I helped your stream to bring in the top categories? If you're ready for continuous cooperation, then you are ready to discuss in Telegram at Top Hodl. Should I go to Top Hodl and then bow to their feet and say, oh, yes, please bring in all the fake viewers. Yes, we want fake viewers. See, now they're all going away. There was 500 and something. They did this last week, too. All right. Decentralized Netflix will be the next big thing. Netflix itself has been dead for a couple of years. Really? AsDirt has these kind of alternative set of facts. TrueGrit, Dex, how can we stop 8,000 people? We would need an army. And that's exactly what's going to happen. We're going to get the army and the National Guard down at the border. So Kryptonite says it says 47 viewers on his end, but not on my end. Why is that? Yeah, it says 40 watching now, but on my Google Hangout screen, it's saying that I have 310 viewers. There were, I don't know, 500 or 600. And it did, in fact, go up there. I'm not sure exactly what. I think they're fake viewers, but I'm not sure. Andrew, what? Sorry about the typos. It's my day off. I'm drunk. You're drunk. Are you with Hayseed? Because he's drunk too. Come on, play some real pool. I'm not. I'm gonna make money off your calls and come play. Yeah, okay. Would you ever use options for the S&P 400 and 500 spread? No. No. I mean, why? I just do the futures. It's I mean, that's the way to go. It's the trade hardly costs any money, and I think that it's a good bet. Probably bots, fake YouTube accounts. Yeah, but I don't know where it comes from. It happened last, and some person comes on saying they're from Top Hodl on Telegram. I hate Telegram. I have no desire to go over to Telegram. And apparently they're trying to tell me that they can push all these people over to my channel, and that I should bow to them and kiss their fucking ass. No, thank you. I rejoined recently, so maybe others did too. 400 people followed you. It could be that Ernie's just getting really good at this. Well, eventually this channel is going to grow. There's no doubt about that. I'm slowly getting more and more people on my YouTube channel. I broke 1,500. It takes a little while for the beginning part, and then to build. We've got really good viewership of all the videos. Most of the videos get about 1,000 views, so most people that are subscribed are viewing the videos. So that's a good thing. Over time, we'll get more people on this live stream, and it will grow. We'll get 100, 200, 500, and it will grow. Like it was, earlier in the year for me when I had 14,000 viewers. But it's just going to take some time. And you guys can help tremendously by sharing this video and liking it. What will the National Guard do? Hi, online right now. What's up? Hello? That was the wife. I mean, they can't shoot people at the border, and they are not trained to deal with illegal immigrants. Well, they can keep them from coming in. Anton Creel, legit. He's supposed to be a pro trader from Goldman, teaching people how to trade. I don't really know much about. Well, no, I do know about Anton Creel, and yeah, he is legit. And right, from everything that I know about brokers and the prop trading firm industry, he is absolutely legit. I have consulted to companies like his. Yes, absolutely. I like Anton Creel. True Grit. You probably have two types of viewers, stocks and world events. You're going back and forth, which is okay. Okay. See, it says on right here that I have 348 viewers right now. Let's see if I reload the page, if that changes. Yeah, so if you reload the screen that you're watching right now, you'll see that it says that I have 352 that are watching right now. But see, if there were 352 people out there actually watching, then the comments would start blasting off. These people are not real. They are fake viewers. They probably went over, clicked on it, and put it in the background, and then that's it. How did Telegram raise 2 billion? Actually, I think they raised, did they raise 2? I thought they raised even more than that. Nah, not with other man drinking. I'm in New Zealand, just watching the October Madness, edging myself in. The up gain from here should be mad. Steam Pro, hello, you have a good rating today. I don't, yeah, but I don't know what that means. Now, see, now it says, look, if there are 414 people out there, you're watching this right now, what I want you to do to prove that you're a real viewer is go and click the like button. Click it right now and share the video. Click the like right now and share the video. Otherwise, you're fake. Do you want to be considered fake? Prove that you're real. Prove that you have blood and guts. I just don't believe it. Can I say your name? Rosierdo Meritencio. No, I don't. I don't know that is the correct way to say your name, but that was a tough one. Press 1 in the chat if you're real. Andrew Watt. Whoa, U.S. stocks. Yeah, 461. I'm not getting this. And I don't see any new people in the chat. See, now a few people hit the like button. Now it's up to 25. It went from 14 to 25. But that's nothing, according to the 463 that are supposedly watching me right now. If you're watching right now, to prove it, you must click the like button. Must click like. Like. Come on, do it. See, right now you're proving that you're fake. 470 viewers. You know, see, back when I had the old channel, getting 473 viewers was no problem. The problem for me was going through the comment section because it would go by so fast that it was impossible to read. But now, you know, we have a steady stable of people. Dan Rum says, buy U.S. stocks. Yeah, I would agree that right now is a good time to buy. Yeah, now is a good time to buy. And for some reason, my why is that going nuts? I got to turn this off. All right, now I've got a call coming in. Hello. You know, I keep on getting this open enrollment for healthcare. Is there a buy on metals? No, I have not seen any buy on metals. Why would the bots increase the number of viewers? What is the purpose of that? I don't know. But now, right now, I have 493, and none of them are pressing the like button. They should have bots that can press the like button. Maybe your AI is trolling me. That is possible. No, that's not possible. Why would let's see. Gap gonna fill, and I'm gonna miss my bottom because I'm having fun here. Awesome. Have another drink. It's a fake call. Yeah, I get these calls all the time, and then when they ask to press 2 to get you off their do not call list, they still call. Hey, Ernie, Netflix is about to hit the target. Thank you. Cool. Arakara, I haven't heard you for a while. Hey, Ernie, I just made enough money to cover the first month subscription and the course with today's alert. So you want to let your viewers know if they're unsure whether to subscribe or not. Well, thank you very much for that endorsement. Look, the alerts are real. I don't know how else to, I don't like to overhype them. So I talk about them, you know, when I can here. I'm not doing any explicit marketing other than these streams. But we've been working on these for the better part of 4 years. Been giving away the futures and Forex alerts for several months now. And people that were on the Discord have, I mean, you go to our Discord and ask anybody there. And you'll find that they're fantastic. Now we're moving into stocks as well. So for $99 a month, you're going to get futures, Forex, and stock alerts from our neural net. And let me just say that how it works in general is that we've trained it with literally hundreds of different patterns, chart patterns, you know, all kinds of different patterns that are predictive, right? And then it's taken those and then created its own, and then started to look at different permeations and permutations, as well as combinations, and making up its own patterns. And then it applies that back to about 20 years of data. And the interesting thing about this is that it can do that very, very quickly. It can analyze this stuff and find statistically relevant patterns that have set up that are very similar to today's, and then make some predictive analysis. And then it spits that out, and then we choose the cream of the crop of those predictive analytics, and then we send them out as alerts. And now we're doing that for stocks as well. And we've already put out a few. Every single one of them has been a winner, except for, I would say, except for the VIX one yesterday. Although it never really triggered yesterday for real. I did get into it because it got a few cents. The XOM yesterday was a big winner. All right, Arakar says, here is proof. By the way, I'm not paying Arakar. It works. I've been following Ernie since he was on the Yahoo message boards for Apple, so please do not hesitate to join. The course is also very helpful, and thanks, Ernie. You're very welcome. Thank you very much for that. I don't see a like button. You don't see a like button. Right below the video, there's a thumbs up button. It's a thumbs up. Just press that thumbs up. What if they already pressed the like button? I would see it here, but I'm not seeing it. Now, see, now all of a sudden it's down to 218 watching. I scared them all away. How you doing, Simon? Shada? Lunchtime is over, Ernie. Check you out later. All right. Toucan Sam, Ernie, what are you doing to keep your skin looking so good? I don't see any wrinkles. That's right. Not bad for a guy who's about 60 years old, huh? You would never know. And if I shaved, then I'd look probably 15 years younger. What is the URL? Okay, the URL is my website, which is traderoffutures.com. https://traderoffutures.com. There it is. traderoffutures.com. Just found you, may follow you. Thank you very much, Aggie1926. I wish I knew you when you gave free alerts. Well, I'm still giving free alerts, as a matter of fact. For the next 3 weeks, we're going to be giving out the stock version of the alerts. For, I don't know, like I said, for about 9 months back, we were giving away the futures, but now they are part of the service. And then after about 3 weeks or so, we're going to fold in the stock alerts and make them free. I'm sorry, make them part of the service, make them unfree. I could not have asked for a better deal and proven system. Ernie is genuine, honest, hardworking guy I have ever. Wow, geez. Arakara. Allie, still there is a Twitch link in the description. A Twitch link. Yeah, I'll remove that. Andrew Watt, how long ago was the Yahoo message boards for Apple? Is that like Jesus times? Actually, it was not Yahoo. It was Google message boards when I first started. And that was a long time ago. But it got pretty big. And, we would generate, thousands of messages a day. And that's what started out my original blog, which was the Apple Investor. And that was a pretty big blog for a while. All right. Will you be giving the alerts on YouTube? Yeah. As a matter of fact, I gave out the one for Netflix this morning. I generally will say it on YouTube. So if we get the alerts early enough, I will come online probably around 10 o'clock and then announce the alerts. But I will also announce them in the Discord. So if you go down below to the Discord, you can join our Discord, and you'll see it in the trade room where I'll announce those alerts. All right, so now we're down to 46 watching. Let me reload this and see if that's true. Yep, 46. Now we're down to 46. How is that possible? All right, so we're going a little over right now, so I'm gonna stop this right here and say thank you very much. I'm going to come back on later in the day and talk about the alerts some more, maybe talk about this market and where we're at. Take care, y'all. Thank you very much. I really appreciate those people that have given the praises to my work. And I can tell you this, that anybody that joins the alerts, you will get my fullest attention, support. And all I can say is that I am very, very proud to have these alerts out there. It's really our best work. And truly, they do work. And if they don't, so give it a shot, right? All right, everybody, thank you very much. We'll see you next video.